I'm Jake, and I can't skate, but I can scare you. And here is how I'm gonna scare you. A large chunk of the fan base, including myself, if you could tell by watching any of my videos on the direction of the team, is quite optimistic about our prospect pool and our direction for the future. And we have every reason to be. We have a goalie that looks like he's gonna be a top 5 goalie in the league, if not the best goalie in the world. I believe he'll be the best goalie in the world. We have a defense prospect who looks like he could be a stalwart offensive driver for years to come. And we're growing our forward depth, and there are several young players like Matt Coronado and Connor Zary, and even surprise guys like Adam Klapka, who look like they're gonna be part of the future of this team, and that future's gonna be very bright. If you're old enough, and I'm just barely so, there was another time in the Calgary Flames history with a similar outlook, and it was back when the Cup run was a recent memory for most of the fan base. We had a goalie in Trevor Kidd who looked like he was gonna be able to take over for Mike Vernon. The hotshot young defenseman by the name of Derek Morris. Chris Dingman and Rico Fata were added to our farm system through what looked like very good drafting. We got Fata 6th overall, and he was a star in junior, and things were looking bright, and the Calgary Flames marketing team knew that, and they leaned into the young guns angle. All these young dynamic prospects were gonna be the future of the team and lead us to another glorious era of Flames hockey. Now, to those of you paying attention, this sounds a lot like what we could be living through. And that is why my thesis for today is there is a dark timeline in front of us. If things don't break the way us optimists think that they might, where the Flames truly are, as the Green M&M guys like to say, a mediocre team with not much hope for the future. Trevor Kidd was the goaltender of the year in the CHL. He won a Memorial Cup. He won World Juniors. Dustin Wolf was the goaltender of the year in the WHL. He represented USA. He never really had the same struggles adjusting to turning pro that Trevor Kidd did. He was also the goaltender of the year in the AHL and has been an absolute star at every level he's played in. But if we're going to look at this objectively for a second, it has only been one season, even though there's no evidence to suggest that there's gonna be a drop-off. We all know goaltending is voodoo. Dustin Wolf could be the second coming of Trevor Kidd, and then the Flames truly are in trouble. Zane Parekh has been putting up historic numbers in junior. He has shown every sign that he's gonna be a star in this league in the vein of somebody like Cale Makar. Derek Morris made the Flames at 19 in 1997 with a lot of the same accolades and with a lot of the same hopes pinned to him. And Derek Morris is a very good defenseman, but he was never the anchor we needed him to be. He was never the offensive driver he was promised to be either, at least not with us. Rico Fata, very good player. Had a long career, did some great things with teams like the Penguins. Never lived up to his 6th overall billing in Calgary. That more reminds me of somebody like Sam Bennett, but there's a chance that either somebody like Cole Reshny from this year or somebody already on the roster like Matt Coronado becomes this generation's Rico Fata and doesn't live up to the contract we've just given him. On a similar note, what happens if Connor Zary becomes as injury prone and inconsistent as somebody like Chris Dingman was, and we end up having to trade him for pennies on the dollar compared to his value? Now, Dingman was part of the Theo Fleury trade, which ended up giving us Robin Regeer, who was that cornerstone to the NHL defense, but that was mainly because he was tied to Theo and still young. We have every reason to be excited, and I will continue to be. But there are those signs out there, signs to be wary of, that history could be repeating itself, that we could see another instance of the Young Guns era where the team is bad, but never bad enough to draft somebody great, or when they do draft high, as was the case with Rico Fata, those picks don't pan out. There's a reason Al Coates isn't revered as a great GM of the Calgary Flames, and that's because the Young Guns era was a lot of hype and absolutely no results. The Young Guns era was the beginning of the Dark Ages. In fact, the nadir, the Save Our Flames campaign, happened at the end of the Young Guns era, where we almost lost this team. And so, while the specter of relocation is no longer there because Scotia Place has a clause tied to it where the team must stay in Calgary for 35 years after the facility is operational, there is the possibility of mire and apathy if history repeats itself. I don't believe it will, but those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this video if you want to be part of the community. I love doing these videos for you guys. Thank you for watching another one, and I have another Dark Era video of the Flames coming out this week. Go Flames!